Dr. Miller with a more of a philosophical video. I've been writing a book on the importance of physical activity and the unintended consequences of modernity. So industrial revolution and the technological revolution and how that has affected our health and affected it through the degradation of physical activity. So physical activity is different than exercise. Exercise is going to the gym. You plan to go there for 30 minutes, do this routine. Exercise is just what you do, or physical activity is just what you do every day. Sometimes it's called a subclass spontaneous physical activity, right? You just do it. Okay. A classic example of this would be like the Amish. You're not familiar with the Amish. They don't have electricity. They've sworn off the modern technology and conveniences, and their obesity rate is 0. So there's no Amish gyms. At least I haven't seen a TV show for that. I know there's like 50 Amish shows on some subclass of Amish, like the Amish Mafia or something, whatever. But I haven't seen an Amish gym one yet. Okay. Amish don't need gym because they don't need they don't need a modern solution for the unintended consequences of modernity, right? A gym is an artificial solution. Just like the supplement world is a great way to think about this. If you have a supplement, that's supplementing what? A diet. Well, after a while, that supplement could become your diet. It's like, well, I want to eat like crap, so I'm just going to have these supplements. So we fortify the crap out of foods now because the foods have been stripped with all their nutrients. So we're supplementing them. We're supplementing our lack of just general nutrition, okay, of nutritious foods. Again, there's nothing wrong with a supplement, but when it comes to focus, it becomes the problem. And the same with the gym. I love the gym. There's a gym outside my door right here. I love working out at the gym. Some of the greatest things in my life have happened in the gym. I met my wife in the gym. I love to lift weights. I'm going to lift weights here in a little bit if I have time today. I love the gym. But if you think about the gym, it's kind of an absurd invention. You drive on average 30 minutes to a place that you get out to in an air-conditioned place, more than likely, and sometimes not. But even if it isn't climate controlled, you get in there and you ride a bike to nowhere. You throw a ball up in the air to nothing. Everything you're doing is absurd, right? Like these are movements that you don't necessarily do every day. And the reason is that you don't do them every day. So why lift weights? Well, we're trying to make muscles stronger that have been atrophied from not doing anything. Okay. And I like to lift weights, right? And you could say, well, I want to get stronger to do, well, again, if you want to use the gym as an accelerant, it's the same as a supplement then from somebody who has a healthy diet. And now you're saying, I just want to get stronger because I want to compete in something. Now you're getting into sports. But in general, for most folks that go to the gym, me included, it's not for performance, at least not anymore, right? It's just to lift and be healthy. I'm supplementing a lack of physical activity during the day. I'm talking in this video right now, sitting in a chair, doing nothing. Now, there's nothing wrong with technology, right? I love modernity. I don't want to be Amish, right? I mean, all respect to the Amish that are out there, but I don't want to be Amish. I like indoor plumbing. I like electricity. I like being warm. I like thermostat. I like all the conveniences of modernity. What's the solution then? Well, just like saying, hey, there's all this food around. Which one do I pick? Well, you pick the healthy choices, right? And that's going to require some discipline. There's nothing wrong with the streaming service, for example, but I need to discipline myself not to watch it so much that I become fatigued to the point that the next day I can't be physically active because I'm so tired. I can't even go to the gym because I'm so tired because I stayed up doing something that really was a time suck and wasn't something valuable. Physical activity then is a lifestyle, right? Physical activity, and this is where weight maintenance and weight loss is very difficult sometimes, is not only do you have to change your dietary habits, you have to change your movement habits. I think the lockdowns with COVID, and some of you are still going through that, is a classic example of this. So people could exercise during these lockdowns, right? Many people could anyway, but what was crushed was physical activity. So if somebody even was physically active, they couldn't go for the walk as much as they do. They didn't go to the office. They didn't, right? Physical activity was down. And now with more remote work, it's been down. And there's more home gyms and things that compensate. But the reality is we see in the research literature in terms of health that you got to move more in order to get the best health benefits from moving. You die faster, even if you exercise. If you die faster though when you sit for more than 30 minutes at a time. I mean, it's just the reality of it. Right? If you don't push blood flow around, you don't burn calories, you don't push blood flow around, right? You're not exercising your vasculature and your heart. You don't push blood flow around, right? The cognitive function is decreased. Fatigue is higher, right? There's this negative spin that happens. Okay. So, when it comes to weight loss, if you lose that physical activity, then you lose the opportunity to burn calories. Okay. The other part of physical activity that is often underrated is when you're physically active, when you're doing something. And physical activity can be it's this huge umbrella. Walking is certainly one of those things that most people think about, and that's great. But gardening, I know I've gotten older when I like gardening now. I used to hate it. I remember when I was in my 20s, like gardening. But Gardening is not terribly physical activity or terribly physically active, depending on what kind of garden you're doing. But what it is doing is, yes, you're burning some calories and you're moving, okay? But you're also not sitting in front of a screen being tempted to eat, okay? Now, you could get hungry from your gardening, but more than likely, you're not going to eat as much by being active and engaged with something than by looking at a screen when you're really bored. Your brain's not really active when you're watching these, whatever you're watching. Me included. I'm not trying to be preachy. I'm just saying this is a trap as a modern person. I am a modern person. So are you. And so, these are things that we need to realize. But the tendency is I'm bored when I need to eat something. I'm bored. I want to be satisfied while I'm watching this thing, whatever it is. And then, of course, we associate food with entertainment as well. So these other hobbies, whatever they may be, they don't appear very physically active on the surface. They are distracting you from eating and taking away from opportunities where you might be inclined to eat more, and potentially making you actually tired, like real tired. So when you go to bed or bedtime gets closer, like, I want to go to sleep. I am tired. There's nothing wrong with being tired at the end of a day. Like, I think we have this in our mind. I think as moderns, we struggle with this because we're moderns and we don't wash our own clothes. And not really. Like, a washing machine is not washing your own clothes. Okay. We don't do the things that people did 100 years ago in order to survive. Again, I'm thinking about the Amish. We don't have to spend a lot of time doing these things. And those are great things. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with myself. But I know then that because I'm not as active as I would be if I had all these other like physical tasks to do, that I'm not going to be tired at night. And that's not a good thing necessarily. I like being tired at night. I know I did something. I played with my kids. I had a busy day at work or whatever. I'm tired. That's a good thing. And then when I lay down to go to sleep, I want to go to sleep. I don't want to watch television. I don't want to watch streaming service. I want to close my eyes and go to sleep. And so, again, these are all positive things that come out of moving more, more sleep, move more. Okay. And then if you want to go to the gym as a supplement, that's what it is. Look at the gym as a supplement. We're coming up on January by the time I'm recording this. This is in December, but January's coming up. The big part of the year when people go to the gym, the gym mindset is a dangerous thing. If you get to the point where you lean on the supplement, and the supplement, you see this with these pyramid schemes, like I'm taking the supplement, I lost all this weight, and then the day comes, it's like, well, I might be able to afford the supplement, or I don't like the supplement. I'm tired of the supplement. The supplement's inconvenient. These are all things you can say about the gym. The supplement, I've been going hard on the supplement, but I haven't really adjusted my behavior. Well, when the supplement's gone, what happens? You go right back to where you started. And that's that gym mindset. So while the gym is fantastic as a supplement, it should not be the central part of losing weight, maintaining weight loss, health, and all these things. Physical activity should be. So again, this is back to this idea of a lifestyle. Physical activity has to be a lifestyle. I mentioned before hobbies. It doesn't have to be rigorous. This doesn't have to be onerous. You could be physically active for 3 minutes doing something. If you're in an office, get up, and it looks a little more exercisey, but get up and do 10 air squats and then sit back down and start working again. I mean, literally, if you do that 3 times a day, how many more calories did you burn? How much more blood flow did you move, right? How much, maybe a little more tired you'll be at night. You keep doing things like that, and they start adding because you start liking it. You start to feel better. If you want to improve cognitive performance, do something like that. Blood goes everywhere, including your brain, right? Again, these are all positive things that come out of moving more. And modernity, and it's all its wonderful things, it's all its gifts that we should be very grateful for. It has stripped away and made us more like the people in WALL-E, where we float around on chairs looking at screens, right? We've become completely dull to the world around us. Like, I'm bored, I got nothing to do because I don't have the screen. Meanwhile, you got a park down the street that has these beautiful trees in it, right? You got people in front of you, these beautiful people to talk to. And if you don't have beautiful people to talk to, and that means anyway, go find some people to talk to, right? And be involved with things, right? That's the lifestyle part I think many times is missing when I work with folks. It's, I want to go to the gym, I want to do this is how I want to be fixed. It's like, okay, that's true. We'll work on the supplement part. And in the dietary world, and most people are engaged like, hey, let's improve my diet so I don't have to lean on supplements. That's the right approach. We need to have that same approach to the calories outside, meaning the gym is not the central piece. The central piece is physical activity. The central piece is moving more, looking for ways to make your lifestyle more inefficient. Make your life inefficient, right? Take the stairs instead of going to the elevator. Again, these are silly things that we've always talked about. Park your car further out. Take a long way to your office, right? Walk to lunch if it's close and safe, right? I mean, find ways to be inefficient, because modernity has made everything so efficient and so streamlined that sometimes the things are ugly, like architecture, and sometimes it's taken away some of the beauty or some of the physical activity, these inefficiencies that were beneficial, right? Taking life slow, enjoying life, enjoying a conversation, not rushing around, looking at a phone, making another meeting, and so forth. Again, and I'll make another video maybe on that. The stress is associated with being efficient, right? Efficiency has made us so efficient that we've become stressed. And we've made it so efficient now that we've engaged in activities like these time sucks, like binge watching something, that has made us inefficient in our days, which in turn makes us very, very tired, but not in a good way, right? I mean, it's just an interesting study on, again, these unintended consequences of modernity. So I hope you don't mind me getting a little philosophical in this video. I hope this is helpful. The practical take home of this, of not me being preachy, is just maybe to reflect on, am I relying on do I have a gym mindset? Is it everything that I'm doing in terms of trying to put calories out, is it all about the gym? Or have I really engaged in looking at how to be physically active and to improve the amount of movement I do, increase the amount of movement I do? I know a lot of people use steppers and count their steps and so forth, pedometers and all these things. And that's, we have Fitbits and accelerometers. I got to get my steps in. I think those are great. That's a great way to measure physical activity. But even then, I think the tendency is to just lean on these things. Like, if I can just get my steps in, well, if I don't get my steps in, then I failed. I'm just gonna give up on it. No. Physical activity is physical activity. Even if it's not steps, if you're, like I mentioned before, you're gardening or you're moving around, it's something that doesn't appear to be physically active. Like in terms of the activity, you are active, but it's not intense, is what I should say. Don't discount those things and say, well, those aren't things I should engage in. I should be getting my steps in. Well, if you don't enjoy walking, you're probably not going to do it forever, right? It's kind of like saying, eat this crazy diet structure, but you hate the food in the diet. Well, that's not going to last very long. Find things you like to do. Explore this world. Again, modernity has dulled us so much. And I'll stop here in a minute. The modernity has dulled us so much that we have closed our eyes, literally, it seems like, but we've closed our eyes to the world around us. There is so much to do and explore in this world. That it's an endless pursuit. I mean, it'd take a lifetime just to even touch the tip of it, right? Or to, scratch the surface. I guess we touch the tip. That's a stupid thing to say. Would we scratch the surface, right? Engage the world around it. Find a place to walk. Find a place to hike. Find a place to get engaged. Find a club to be a part of. Find a new activity. I'm going to take a class on blacksmithing. I've always wanted to do it. That's not terribly physically active on the surface, but it is intense, right? It's something different, but I'm not going to be in front of a screen, and I'm going to be doing something productive in terms of physical activity. So anyway, that's my spiel. I know it's a little preachy and opinionated, and I'm going to call this a rant when I put it up, but I hope it's taken more so as a plea from me. Somebody's been involved with sports and all these other, and I didn't even talk about sports. They're not the answer either. They're a supplement too. They're an enhancement basically to physical activity, and I like sports a lot, but it too is not the base for calories out. It should be physical activity, and that physical activity is a lifestyle change, and it is. It takes discipline, just like it takes discipline to eat healthier. Not the food you hate, but just eat healthier. It takes discipline to change your lifestyle to be more physically active. But I will tell you, as a person that is engaged in this, and my kids have been a big part of this, but is really engaged in this idea of being more physically active, man, it's rewarding. It's rewarding. Look up, look around you, and I think you'll be pleased with what you see, and find that it's a lot more exciting, and there's a lot more. You realize how much you've been dulled by modernity and all the entertainment and everything else we get wrapped up in, that we've missed out on what's around us and the physical activity that's associated with it. All right, talking in circles. See you guys in the next video.